Yes, ma'am.
Yes, who's beginning? Tarti or Kashi aap?
नहीं
Ma'am,
मैम,
I
this
will
धरती,
start you.
just
Acha.
Yes. So, just a second.
Before Dharti comes in and introduces our speaker, let me come into picture and tell you. Firstly, welcome to Dr. Pooja from IGIDR. I had an opportunity of listening to him last week when I was attending a session. And believe me, the session that I had gone through was such a wonderful session that I immediately took his number and said, "Sir, would you like to come as guest speaker here?" And such humble person, he immediately said yes. And our team connected to him. And just to tell you, sir, who the uh, people are today listening to you, we are the institutions affiliated to or under the parenthood of HSNC board, which is Hyderabad International Collegiate Board. It has also started its own university with three colleges and different schools. The whole idea of HSNC board to start a research and development cell at the board level, which is being looked after by HR college, is to take up various areas of research, get excellent speakers and stalwarts in the area of research, and guide each other on to how to get better and better in research. Yes, the fields are different. In today's session, you will have people from engineering background, arts, science, and commerce background, pharmacy background, as well as engineering and education background. Our idea of getting people together is that the whole idea behind is you should be together in research. And the methodology might be different, but the mindset is the same that you should research. And when I heard you talking about AI in research, our president, Sir Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, has been uh, telling us that today is the world that you cannot leave behind AI. And so I think the appropriate timing that you were taking a session in IGIDR and Sir has been telling, I think it's a right thing. So welcoming on behalf of 14 colleges of HSNC board and everyone out here and me as we know each other. I hand over to Dhanti for starting this entire proceedings in formal manner. Welcoming Dr. Pooja for
Thank you,
this
ma'am.
section.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
for your kind introduction. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
Dhanti,
so much, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Very warm welcome to everyone present this evening. It is truly a pleasure to host you all for this insightful webinar on use of AI for effective research organized by Research and Development Cell of HR College under HSNC Board. Today's session is very meaningful because we have a distinguished expert with us who has shaped the landscape of research support, digital libraries, as well as scholarly informations in India. We are honored to welcome Dr. Pujar, Chief Librarian at Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Research, Mumbai. Dr. Pujar has been associated with IGIDR since 1996, serving in numerous capacities and contributing significantly to both regional and national academic initiatives. His vast professional journey of 29 plus years, during which he has also served as university librarian at Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and collaborated on prestigious international projects, including Institute of Development Studies IDS UK. His academic qualifications are MA in Political Science, PhD in Library and Information Science, and PGDCA reflect the multidisciplinary expertise which he brings to the research community. With more than 43 publications to his credit and experience as a sought after resource person for workshops and FTPs, Dr. Pujar continues to inspire scholars to adopt modern technologies and tools in research practice. He has also been recognized globally through fellowships such as IFLA ALP Fellowship and Commonwealth Professional Fellowship, further highlighting his contribution in the field of library and information science. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of HR College and RDC, to take the time to guide us today. We would now appreciate if you could begin with the session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Datti. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank HSNC for giving this opportunity, especially Pooja madam, and followed by you coordinating the activity. So let me share my presentation.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Is it moving?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good evening to all of you. Let me. Yeah. Good evening to all of you. Let me start with this thing. See, you know that now, as Madam very specifically mentioned, so impact of AI is very much seen in every field, including the field of education. So there are a lot of especially from the start of ChatGPT in 2022. There are a lot of developments happen and people started using and started getting more number of users within no time, and which is much faster as compared to Facebook or Instagram. So here I attempt to cover, give an introduction, and specifically I talk about AI, is generative AI, which is impacting the research. Of course, now agentic AI is coming to fore, so which is going to take in the future, that is going to be the norm. So, and also before I talk about its applications for the research, I also talk about how one need to query any kind of a AI tool which you are using or which you will be using for undertaking any of the aspects of the research. So in my presentation, I'll be covering about giving a brief intro, and then after that, how and what about what of generative AI and what is prompting, how you need to prompt, and generative AI in research, and what are the precautions and warnings as a researcher you need to take in. You know that generative AI is, we basically prefer whenever we talk about its implication for research, we broadly mention AI in research or AI implications because of AI introduction and all. But actually what we are using today after the introduction of ChatGPT is generative AI, which is a subset of a broader field of artificial intelligence, which comes is a part of deep learning, machine learning, deep learning, and within that the generative AI comes in. It is basically generative AI is a next word predictor. To simply understand it, forget about this technology, this thing. So it is just next word predictor. Whatever you enter, it tries to predict a word by going through its knowledge base. You take, for example, ChatGPT, Cloud, or Gemini, Perplexity, or Llama. Various models or large language models are available, which are basically multi-model, which talk about text, which talk about audio, image, or video, whatever you would like to do, depending upon your. Some of the things may not be available in free version, and some of them are available in the paid version. So that is the only difference. So what we are going to this thing. And it is increasing in competence. For example, now most of the search engines, if you say, for example, the Google, whenever we were searching Google earlier, we used to get only the sites with the links. But nowadays, what is happening? Search generative experience. Initially, it is giving a AI result, and then afterwards, it is providing a link. So now, even the AI mode has come in Google. You might have seen it already. And also now the Google Scholar, which is very much we all of use it. Now it has come out with the AI mode, so which is recently been introduced. Of course, you need to register, and wait list is there. You register for it, and then you'll get access to Google Scholar AI research, wherein that most of us use it because of the it is very comprehensive in terms of the literature. So wherein that you can start seeing the different kind of a experience. And now it is part of it. Of course, this image is a bit old, where that now it is a part of your systems, where that even your operating system or your MS Office, and it is getting into every aspect of it. Now there is a concept of deep search. You might have seen deep search, deep research, or thinking models have come in, and as I mentioned, to agentic models are evolving now. So with that, so the total picture of that, how we undertake, how we use these tools is going to change further, and it is going to be wherein that you are giving a task to an agent, automatically most of the things you can get it, and where we are standing after the introduction of ChatGPT in November 2022. So these are the different major large language models or systems what we can see here. ChatGPT, which was initially started with version 3.5, but today is version 5. So it started in 2022. Then there are plugins they introduced initially, but they are called GPTs. GPT is nothing but they are somebody has worked on a particular kind of a tool which we as a chat GPT user we can use it. Some are available free along with the free version, and some you may have to have a paid version in order to get access to those GPTs. And initially, the before the Microsoft Copilot came in, it was called Bing, the search engine AI. And then came the Google Bard, now known as Gemini, and Anthropic Cloud. So it's also very good system. Then came the Meta, which is a Facebook parent company, which came out with a model which is being used everywhere, even in our WhatsApp. Now Lalma exists, Meta AI exists, where that you may be using it for some of the purposes. Then Grok, which is basically a model which has come out with the Elon Musk company. And then the DeepSeek, which came in later, some part of in 2024 or 24, which is basically coming from China. These are some of the major models of it. There are many more. So here these are systems what we are using it, or we are going to use in the long run, or we may use something new also, which is going to come in the near future. So how and what purpose we can use generative AI is, so it can be used for idea generation or brainstorming. So you want to undertake any brainstorm, any topic, we can use it. And we can also use it to generate codes. Okay, for example, as an engineering faculty, you want to write a program and you want codes, or you want to improve on the code, or you want to find out the errors in the code. So all those things is very, very possible. Only the thing is we should be aware of that. What, for example, somebody is working on any program. If they know that and program, particularly like Python for C or whatever this thing, if you know the code, then it is, if you understand what the program it is and how it has been written, then it's easy for you to find out the errors. And otherwise, for example, if we don't know, then it becomes a problem. And it is very useful for learning and exploration, for undertaking research, such as you want to summarize any kind of a text or multiple papers and want to know about what they are talking about, whether any kind of a gap exists there, or help with the concept, okay, and help with find out the errors. But only thing is you vary of hallucination, because many times these AI tools cook information. They don't provide the right information that we need to be aware of. We need to cross verify. As a researcher, we need to apply our own critical thinking. We should not take whatever output we get it on its face value. And there are customized tools developed by others, as I mentioned you earlier, like GPTs in ChatGPT. They are called gems in Gemini. Like those kind of tools are available that can also be used. One thing you always should remember that these AI tools for research, they are your research assistants or the interns. Okay, they are not your masters. That you need to keep in mind before using any of those. You have to put that intern or a research assistant for work. Like, for example, you may be having intern in your office, or you may be having research assistant in your colleges or in your university. So how you take work from them like that, you can ask AI tool to work for you and use it as your intern or research assistant. So what are the things you need to keep in mind when you are looking for any AI tool? So is a prompting, basically how you are going to prompt a AI tool. For example, how you should do that. Your query should be precise to get what you want. It should be precise, see what you are looking for. Okay, and you have to give a context. In what context you are asking for. For example, when you are doing a search in a normal, say Google Scholar and all, many times we don't give it context. Just we enter certain terms and then keywords basically, and they try to provide the results. You need to provide a context, and your query can be a very concise one, or maybe wordy, or a detailed one, or to be specific, or to give examples. Even whenever you give this thing, you can also put it in a giving an examples. So then you will get a this thing. And also you need to give a constraints. For example, you want restrict the load of information. For example, I just want to know very basic information about a particular thing in very 1 or 2 lines. Then we should give a constraint. So that give me reply only in 2 lines. Okay, then it will give a reply in 2 lines. Otherwise, what will happen? If you say, for example, a marketing of, say, for example, say consumer durables, give me a brief on consumer durables. If you write it, it'll give in multiple paragraphs, or it will give bulleted content also. You say that I want to understand what are consumer durables in 1 or 2 lines. Then it will give you. Or get it in a particular style. You can also put a style also. For example, you want it should be, the output should be in your own writing, or a newspaper writing, or for a journal, or for a blog post, or you should be famous administrator or famous faculty member or whatever it may be. So researcher, that you need to give it. You may ask it to write in a particular tone also. For example, you want it in informal way, formal, academic, straightforward, or to particular audience. For example, you as a teacher, you want to teach your students, you want it to be understandable for undergraduate students. So then you can tone it to for undergraduate level. Otherwise, what will happen? The output, what it gives in without, if you don't give any kind of these kind of a tone or this thing audience in mind, then definitely the kind of output you get it. Maybe it looks good for you, but may not be looking good for your students. And you also need to assign a role. For example, you may be somebody, maybe scientist, biologist, or engineer, or an economist, or a so chartered accountant, whatever it may be. You should also put a role. You as a chartered accountant, you as a biologist, you as an economist, give me an output about on this topic. If you do that, it thinks like an economist and try to provide you a result. Okay, so that makes you the content what you are getting will be more apt for your work, so that you can read it and you can verify it and then make use of it in your for teaching or learning or even for your research purposes. So a weak prompt will not provide you a better result, so that you need to put these into context whenever you're trying to do this. It's so then you know to get a better output from the any of the AI tools. Okay, coming to the generative AI in research, what all for areas we can use this one is brainstorming or ideation and feedback. For example, you have a topic in mind, or you have heard a topic in a talk or in a conference, then you want to work on it, you want to see that what are things are there. So then you can brainstorm on that idea, or ideation purposes you can use it. And also you can use it for the feedback purposes. For example, you've written something, you want to see, you don't have anyone to talk about on that topic within your college or near your vicinity where you live in. So then you can always ask AI tool to give you feedback about something what you have written. It may be abstract or it may be a paper, but you can go, or it may be about a paragraph. So like that you can do it. And then you can use it for undertaking review of literature and research, identifying research gaps, or for background research, you can use it. And you can use it for data analysis, for example, in social sciences or scientific, so natural sciences, we may use a lot of data, lab reports and all. You want to undertake some analysis using that, then you can always do using any of these tools or specific data analysis specific AI tools. You can also use them for paper writing purposes, as I mentioned to you already about when you can take a feedback. There also you can use it to improvising the language, because many of us, we come from vernacular medium and we find it difficult when you are trying to write some of the content. So at that time you can use it. Then you can use it for research integration purposes. For example, you are writing, see, you may have a doubt that, okay, I'm trying to copy the content from AI, or I have used certain content. So whether is it any plagiarism has happened? So you want to test it. There are tools available. Using that, you can always check that. Then there are other uses include coding. You can do the coding, and you can do a mathematical derivations and research promotion. For example, research promotion meant that you can ask AI tool to create a post for your post, for you want to make it on a Twitter or you want to make it on LinkedIn. So you can ask it to generate it. So it will give a very stylized word. So then accordingly you can this thing. So here I given one of the this thing which I have taken from one of the paper which is written by Anton. So where that it talks about so usefulness, AI usefulness in for addition, feedback, writing, background research, coding. So if it is a full black means it is very good to highly useful. If it is half means you need to be careful. So it does give you, but you need to verify what it is trying to give in. So this is as per his study, he is a master of the AI application research, especially economic research. So he keep on updating himself, and he is also has a developed a site wherein that he keeps updating about this stuff. So he has given in one of his papers. So just I have given you about this, what purpose it is very useful. So generative AI research, what are the opportunities and challenges? You as a researcher, when you look at the opportunities, so you may say, okay, streamlining literature review and data search will be very useful, enhancing scientific writing quality and speed, providing insight, discovery and evaluation, producing, refining, and debugging a code, for example, and boosting teamwork and idea generation, and improving communication. These are certain kind of opportunities what we can find it, and there are challenges like dilemmas regarding data accuracy and reliability. That is one thing you may be concerned regarding data bias, because most of these LLMs come from developed world, one coming from China, wherein that most of the data, what knowledge base may be containing more of the data which is coming from those countries, and issues with maintaining academic originality. So this is again academic integrity question, and challenges related to ethics and responsibility, because many of the times these tools use a lot of copyrighted material without taking permission from the authors, and problems with over reliance on AI, because what happens once we start relying on something, we may tend to depend more and more on that. So that is also a problem. That is a challenge. We need to be aware of it. And risk of illegal activities. So like that copyright infringement and all that might be an issue. So issue with high energy consumption. It's all, you may be aware by now that most of the AI, these things, they use a lot of energy, and also a lot of water consumption is being made by most of these AI tools. So just recently I came across this paper, which is a study, basically researcher of the future, which is undertaken by Elsewhere publisher. So what is the impact of AI and research? So they found that AI adoption in research has surged to 58% now. Has used AI tools for work, up 21% from 2024 study. Okay, AI as a creative force, 61% believe will be the creative force driving new knowledge in the next 2 to 3 years. That's what their study, which is showcased. So means that increasingly people across the world are using, because they undertook a survey of 3,200 scholars across the continents, and they came out with the results, which talks about increasing use of AI in research. So coming to the brainstorming, as a faculty member, as a researcher, you know that it is a creative thinking or a technique to come out with a new idea. Whenever, for example, we are sitting for a cup of a half chai or a cutting, so then we are talking about, so when we may be discussing about a particular topic. At that time, we discuss and we brainstorm and try to create for example, you are trying to do a collaborative article or trying to do a collaborative research something. So then it usually happens. But in the world of Gen AI, what happens? For example, you are alone, or you want to do because nobody is available in your university in the particular area what you are trying to work. So at the time you may have to one is that you want to have human to human interaction, where then you can identify a researcher maybe in India or abroad, wherever he or she may be. Then you can interact and then start read papers and start discussing. Other thing is you want to know what, okay, I'm thinking about this idea, whether is it a good or is there a kind of worth is there, then you want to brainstorm about that idea. So where you are not an expert, then you can use it, generative AI tool like ChatGPT, Gemini, or any specific tool. So in order to brainstorm and get a feedback on the topic of research, what you are trying to do it. And you can regenerate or prompt again to get for example, when you search it, when you do a interactive with a chart, sometime you may not get a result. You can keep on doing it, then you will get a better results. But only thing is you need to be careful, as I mentioned earlier, and also you need to verify from the existing body of literature. For example, something you are doing, for example, you do anything on ChatGPT, any kind of references for a literature, any topic, most of them do not exist. It generates most of the references. So you have to be very careful. So many times you may come across a student coming with a list of references in their assignment and submit it to you. At that time, if you cross verify, most of the references will not be existing. So there's a habit of shortcuts. Many of the people use it. At that time, it creates a problem. So you need to, as a researcher, you need to verify it. And so whenever your students do it, you need to tell them how they need to use these tools. Also, you need to apply your critical thinking before taking a note of them. Otherwise, what happens if you don't apply it? Then what happens? The content may go just like that, which may not be true in real sense. You may have also discussion with your colleagues, or in case if you have some of you are doing PhD, then you may also discuss with your guide. And also you need to be aware of a data limitation of any AI tool, because now of course nowadays what happens, most of the tools get access to the internet, but Whereas there may be a tool which data knowledge base may be limited, like free version of chat GPT and all limited up to 24, I think 2024 or 25 March, until that only it has access to. So you need to be aware of what is the data limitation of the knowledge base. Then accordingly, you can search and try to brainstorm on a particular topic, what you are thinking. So what are the different tools which are available for brainstorming for you? One is ChatGPT, which is very popular, which is the beginner, and Cloud. Gemini is there. Gemini is also improving. Recently, Gemini 3 has come in. Meta AI and the Microsoft Copilot, which uses ChatGPT. Okay, and you can put a specific subject use cases in the AI world. We call them AI use cases. We don't say examples. Use cases may be used for generating an output from any of these tools. So now here I have created one use case like of a thesis in ChatGPT. How we can say I have taken a topic, this is impact of AI and business enterprise in India. Okay, what I'm asking as a teacher in commerce, I'm giving it, can you please suggest a research plan for me? Because the research plan is important. Whenever we undertake, first we need to make a research plan on whatever topic we are undertaking. So in order to do that, if you wish to do that, then I'll go to the ChatGPT and enter this one prompt to just showcase how the output comes. You might have already done these kind of things, but for me to show you that how you need to log in order to get a better. So always create an account in ChatGPT. Don't try to use it just like that without login. Also, you can work on it. So now what I'll do, I'll just enter this, paste this one. Okay. So then I'll say, sorry, I need to take a complete thing, content from there as I am teacher. So up to here. Right one I just put in just to verify and discuss, modify. For that purpose, I put in. So now I'll put the entire this thing. As a teacher, I'm telling that, giving a role to that. I'm working on a thesis. So can you please suggest a research plan for me? Okay. So I'm just typing and pasting. You can also use a conversational. So even you can dictate by using your words. For example, see here, research plan for this is thesis, introduction, background, problem statement, objectives, research questions. What are the different research questions come in from this thing? Hypothesis, if needed, scope of the study, research methodology, how you need to descriptive and analytical study, mixed methods, population sampling, data collection, tools for the proposed chapterization. That also it gives you. Expected outcomes, timeline. So like that, you can generate a complete research plan for your research so that what happens, you can work on it. Further, I'll put certain queries just to showcase how the output comes. For example, which chapters already it has given because now it has improved. So now, for example, here, this is something that should not be there. So hypothesis also it has given. Okay, what research method that also is given because this thing now it has improved over a period of time. Even for example, I want to say that can you please say what are the statistical methods to be applied for this study? So then if I go in here and enter that, it will also suggest you what are the statistical methods you can apply in order to undertake this study. It is applying descriptive statistics, reliability and validity tests, inferential statistical methods, correlation, regression, all those things. Otherwise, ANOVA also it is there. So as a researcher in social science, sometimes we may not be good with statistics or we have to depend on statisticians. So statistical faculty members otherwise. So now I know that what are the kind of things I can apply. Of course, once you get a research plan, you need to discuss with your research guide or you need to go discuss with the supervisor. Then you come out with or your any statistical faculty members. So whether this kind of this thing will be suitable for this thing. So that when you compare it, you will come to know, okay, what it is suggesting and what your supervisor is suggesting or a statistical faculty member is suggesting is exactly matching with what the tool is suggesting. So once you cross verify, then it becomes very easy for you to apply it and try to use those kind of methods in your research. And that's about how you can brainstorm on a topic or any given topic. So you can do that. The second good usage of AI tools is for undertaking a review of literature. I'm not talking about here the ChatGPT or Gemini and all. You need to use the literature review specific AI services which are available. If you use them, then you will be able to do a comprehensive research. Because what happens when you undertake a review of literature, they need to be based on a standard database. See, there are tools available wherein that they use the database similar to Google Scholar. Okay, and accordingly they retrieve literature only from that database. So most of the references what they showcase you exist in reality they exist. So that helps you to take that for your undertaking review of literature. Okay, and until now, what we are doing, we are searching the literature through Google Scholar or any other subject-specific databases, or by reading the different papers which we have come across in our subject field by referring to the journals. So it is now possible to interact with the papers. You can interact with the. You can also summary of the papers. You can find out the related papers, findings of the paper, identify research gaps. All these things is possible because of the generative AI tools. And some of the generative AI tools which are useful undertaking review, one is Consensus, Elicit, and Notebook LM, Perplexity AI, Site, and there are many more. SciSpace here I have listed out some of the notable ones which you can use in order to undertake a review of literature. Here, for example, now I am going to use the Elicit, wherein that I am going to use a topic use of consumer durables in Mumbai. I just a vague kind of a topic I'm trying to give it. What happens here when you open this thing, it will try to find the papers, it try to summarize. You can also chat with the paper. Of course, I'm using a free version, so paid version has many features, whereas the free version comes with a limited features. For example, now if I go to Elicit, okay, this is Elicit. I have already logged in. So it is coming in. See, my email address is also coming here. So now, for example, I'll just enter use of consumer in Mumbai. I would see its source, it's telling research paper is going to search. In case of any clinical life science people, you can also clinical trials also you can access. You also make a precise question for better understanding. That also you can see, for example, you want specificity. See what factors influence adoption of use of, okay, specific, I made it specific. Then now I'll try to search it. So now you can see here, it is trying to provide you different kind of papers. Okay, so it is giving as a research question, it's trying to give, and also is trying to find out the papers which are chat with papers. It's also trying to give me a column wherein that I can also chat with the papers. So here there are multiple kind of things are there, but it's not giving a summary here. Let me go to. I'll go to Elicit. Let me put, because it is taking it as a question. So now what it does actually, okay, it's interface only, they have changed it. So what it is doing, it's not giving a summary, it's trying to search the papers and trying to provide it here. So now there are certain filters are available here. So even if you want to filter, for example, you want only publication having a PDF, you can click on that. Or you want publication date anytime, or you want only latest papers, you can restrict it to latest papers. And journal quality, like Q1 journals only you want, or Q1 or all. So if you restrict to based on the quartile, means the dependent quality, or you want what type of articles you can contain, and also you can give the keywords and all. So that way you can see, for example, now if I click only PDF and also here apply, if I apply, then the papers what you get is completely different set of papers will come. Only the latest papers will appear over there. It takes some time. Okay, see now, for example, impact of white goods and consumer preferences like that. And here, what it does beautifully, it gives you a columns wherein that you can see summary of the paper it is trying to provide you. Okay, so you can add some more this thing columns. Edit columns. I can add some more columns here. Add a new. Okay, summary is there. Now, for example, I want to suggested columns. It is there. For example, consumer demographics. If I want to add it, so it will add the consumer. You can add a time. You can add a 2 columns. Okay. So now it will demographics of a particular paper. It also try to provide you so that whether it belongs to Mumbai or something like that. If in the abstract of the paper or full text of the paper if it is available. If it is not been mentioned, then it will not provide. Age group adult women with a maiden age of initiation of 26 to 26.23 years. Like that, whatever is available in the paper, it will try to mention it. See, now the tool has improved because earlier we give a standard columns, but now it's trying to give the more columns. So try to give a more columns here. So now you, based on the topic of search, it is trying to provide you the this thing. Sorry for that. Sorry for the interruption. So this way, it's the tool provides you the consumer demographics like that. You want some other this thing, so you can click on that. But only thing is, it is providing now consumer durable characteristics also. So like that, you can identify a paper. So what you are looking for. So export and all, it is not possible because you need to upgrade it in order to do that. And it also other feature where library, wherein that you can upload the papers and you can interact with that paper. For example, here some of the papers which I uploaded for something else, some other demonstration purposes. So wherein you can interaction with the paper is also very much possible. What you search it, so that you can do. Other thing is that if you are using a reference management software, Jotero, then you can import the references from the Jotero, or you import, sorry, not references, you can import the full text of the paper from there, and then you can start interacting with that, and also you can upload the papers. These are the different options available through using which you can undertake a literature review on a particular topic to know exactly what papers are going to talk on the topic of search, what you are trying to do. So here you can also create the collections to help you to group the papers as per your requirement. That facility is also available so that you can explore it. This is a very good tool, but only thing is, if you are interested in having more features, then I suggest you to subscribe to it so that you will get a better features for undertaking this research. And coming to the Notebook LM, which is another tool, which is a very good tool. I can say this is available free of cost to everyone. This is a part of brought out by Google. So what happens here? Here you will have control over what information, what documents you are trying to summarize, because it allows you to upload the 50 sources. Okay, wherein that you can upload the sources, you can interact with only the sources within your control. So that it is all, for example, you have certain papers which you can upload it here. Of course, be wary of the copyright, because some of the publishers may not allow you, but if publicly available any of the papers, any of the paper you are trying to refer to, of course, you can upload it there. Even the Google claims that they are not going to use any of your uploaded papers because for their training purposes, but you check it and then you can upload it, wherein that you can undertake the summarization of the papers, you can interactive query you can make, you can have a document analysis, all those things you can be made using a natural language. And also now what they have done within the tool, they have also introduced the deep search or a deep research, wherein that you can interact and do a deep research within the this thing, and also they allowed you to discover sources directly from the tool itself. That other option also they have done it. Here sources means you can upload the full text of the papers, or also you can give the website address also, or you can upload the YouTube address also, or you can upload a text, simple text, wherever that transcript is not available, you can upload it. So that facility is also available. So you hear what happens in addition to querying, you can also create FAQs. Table of contents, study guides, timelines, briefing documents, all those things can be created. And also now they have come out with a new this thing like earlier they were providing only audio overview of what is that you are searching for. Now video overview is also available, and mind maps, reports, all those things can be generated. Here, for the literature point review point of view, it helps you to identify the themes, gap analysis, theoretical framework, methodology comparison, all those things can be done here. What we saw in LSIT, wherein that we use a tool to search, here literally you will be uploading a paper and trying to find out. One is are uploading the sources and trying to find out that. For example, if you want to see notebook LM, so here I already using my Google ID, Gmail I have logged in, so it's not asking me. So for example, I want to, whenever you go to a tool, it will ask you to create a new book. Okay, when you click here, it will ask you to upload the sources. So here uploads, for example, what all the things, PDF, text, Markdown, audio, all these are the different file formats, it accepts it. Here there is option discover sources. This is the, for example, if you click here, it will go here. You can take sources from the web or from your Google Drive. Here also you can undertake the fast search. So, and here, for example, now I'll go back to my one of the earlier notebook and see that how it works. For example, here I have AI literacy something, this thing also, sorry, document there. Let me go to any other document where I have uploaded some documents. Here 4 sources are there. For example, smart public library services, best service survey. So I uploaded 4 this thing. Here, see, you can see these are the different options. I can have audio overview, mind map, reports, flashcards. I can also generate a quiz. For example, you as a teacher, you want to create a quiz for your students based on the your course material, that you can do it. You can also create a flashcards. You can also make a slide deck. For example, you have certain papers, your own papers, or you want to create a slide deck based on your reading for your class, even that is also very much possible. For example, here now I can interact with these 4 papers, what I have uploaded on Smart Library Public Best Services Survey. Here I can put a query on myself, or I can, it suggests me what are the different questions. If I click on the questions, it will give me the answers. Okay. It is based on only the 4 sources. It is not going to the web or is not going to AI tool, and is based on my this thing it is giving me. Okay. And also it used the source from where it has taken. So if you click here, it will show that from where it has taken. Okay. From this PDF document where that context what it is mentioning, where it has taken. So it is a very useful tool. I suggest you to explore it so that it can be used for your research purposes or for your teaching purposes. And now I was mentioning agentic AI search, wherein that you just give a command, the AI tool will generate output for you. For example, here is one SciSpace, which is a recently adopted agentic this thing tool. So wherein that you can search the papers, it searches literature from multiple databases. Okay. Multiple databases and try to provide you the results for you. Okay, so you can explore it. I'll not show it to you because for free version it uses a very minimum kind of points. For one agentic review of literature, all over 100 points will go off. So you can just explore if you find it useful. It also can be used for multiple purposes, like you can create a manuscript or data visual writing purposes also. You can use this tool as multiple this thing, but for the searching point of view to as assistant, you can create multiple tasks in our 100 review of literature, and also you can write a report using this thing. This is one is agentic AI example. So now comes to the research gaps. What is the research gap? See, which is one thing is the knowledge, lack of awareness and understand the topic. That is one gap we may have it as a researcher. So otherwise the conceptual absence of a framework or a theoretical understanding, which I as a researcher may not be having. There in that I need to understand, I need to find out from the existing literature. And other one is third one, methodological, wherein that methods used to study a topic need more or newer methods or refine the existing one. That's what the thing is. The data. The next one is data, where the availability of the data on a particular topic. For example, what happens when we undertake any kind of a research, especially in social sciences and humanities, what happens if the data does not exist, then it becomes very difficult. So we need to be aware of it, whether need to collect more research to collect data on a specific activity or a population, that we need to. And literature, deficiency or void in literature in a specific research. For example, when you are reading any kind of a newer topic when you are reading, you don't find much of the published literature. So any deficiency of literature is there, or wide is there, any gap is there, so which we may not be knowing about this. So this is to in order to find out that kind of a research gap, there are certain AI tools which are available, like connected papers, insightful lit maps, open knowledge maps. Research Rabbit, until now it was a free tool, very good tool, but unfortunately they have made it now free version is giving very limited kind of output now, whereas the paid version has many more features. You can go through these tools. Here I just give an example of connected papers, wherein that when you make a search on the connected papers, what happens? You will get a map of that. What it does, it takes a seed paper, and the seed papers, and along with that, what are the connected papers which are there, prior works or the derivative works which are there, through which you can make out so how the literature is connected and what are the dependent papers on that. So that helps you to identify the related papers for your study, and also you'll be able to make some kind of a gap analysis by going through these papers and trying to do the map, or through downloading the entire list and trying to understanding those what they are trying to cover. For example, if I go here, connected papers. Okay, this is the tool wherein you can enter, build a graph. You can log in. I suggest you to create account and then log in. Okay, so here, for example, now consumer durables. I'm asking for a literature suggestions. Okay, it used the first set of results. Here we are going to select a seed paper. Okay, the seed paper, once you select, for example, this is I say it as a okay, not enough citation, that's why it's not going. Okay, I'll take it this as a seed paper for me. So waiting for a server, so it'll come. Okay, I think there is a lot of load is there, so it is not coming. I'm just uploading a map. So here I selected a seed paper that has been marked with this thing, pink color. So this is a seed paper, and these are all the other related papers which are there. Then this list you can go through one by one, and we can go through the papers from here and try to find out. Here there is the option to see the prior works and also the derivative works. Based on that paper, what are the other papers which have come in and their year, all those things. You can check it from that. You can also download the output. Now I come to the data analysis. How one can do a data analysis using the ChatGPT 5, or you can also do it using the tools called Julius. There are tools available. What is data analysis? Basically, it is process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling the data with the goal of discovering useful information, drawing conclusions. All those things you can do it. Okay, and what are the different kind of statistical analysis we do it? Descriptive, exploratory, regression, text analysis, all those things we do it. Both in qualitative and quantitative studies. And presently, how we do it? We use Excel or we use SPSS or any other statistical package or all those kind of things in order to undertake a deeper analysis into the statistics, whether it is taken from primary survey or whether it's taken from secondary surveys. So that we try to use and access that. But now in the age of Gen AI, you can use the latest version of the ChatGPT or Gemini Advanced in order to undertake the literature. So what are the things which are available? One is ChatGPT 5, the current version, and Gemini Advanced or Gemini 3 is available. Julius, it's a very good tool which you can use it. Power Drill AI you can. So here I have taken one case study of Narega, where that we give employment opportunity for the village rural people, where in that we can apply it. You need to upload a data and then try to interact with the data. Here, what I'll try to do, instead of using a paid version, I'll try to use the free version and try to see some of the outputs, how it is going to come here. For example, now I'll go to ChatGPT. So here there is an option. Now I'll say new chat. So I'll upload. Okay. No, it's not allowing. Okay. Let me see whether I can log into the paid version. 1 minute. Here the paid version is there. Let me 5.1. Now I'll upload the file. File. Okay, here I have a data. So I'm uploading the Narega data. So it's been uploaded, CSV file. Now I'll raise some of the queries. Okay, I'll say get the missing values. Okay, see, you can get a summary of this thing. You are so who response is trying to provide me. Wait. Okay, zero missing value in every column because the data is updated. Then I'll enter some one query, just show you that. Okay, provide me descriptors data set on Andhra Pradesh. And just do one query just to show that how it can be used. Okay, so it's trying to provide you the data wherever it's available. So you can, of course, it is showing the code. Yeah. This is a summary it is trying to provide you. So it also again say that summary of the tables I can provide all those things it is showing. So like that you can apply multiple, even it can be used for the visualization purpose also. For example, you want in a particular kind of this thing. So that also it is very much possible to generate a graph or generate any kind of visualization you want to do it. That is also very much possible. I'll not go further into it. So you can explore it. And coming to the paper writing, so paper writing, wherein that you can use it for composing academic scholarly work. What is paper writing? We all know very well know it. So here basically the essential skill which we use it in order to write a paper, wherein that we read papers and then try to put the content into the paper and try to read any of the word processing software. We like mostly MS Word we use in order to write a paper. But now, for example, what happens while writing a paper, we may, because of the language proficiency, we may find it difficult to put it in a proper sentence or proper this thing. So then we may find it difficult. Of course, nowadays, MS Word also suggests you to grammar corrections and all. It suggests the thing. Of course, you will be also using tools like Grammarly. But in the age of it can be undertaken using there are writing specific tools like the one I talked about, SciSpace. There is also PaperPal and Jenny is available, which can be used to generate a paper. Like that, you can write it, and also it will suggest you what needs to be written or how you need to written, or you want to improve the language, you want to paraphrase something. Using the tool, you'll be able to do it. So what are the different tools which are available for this thing? Paper writing is one is Jenny, other one is PaperPal, and Samuel is there, Yomu is there. So most popular ones are Jenny and PaperPal, which is being widely used in organizations. I don't know, because many of the universities are also going for these kind of tools in order to enable their researchers, help the researchers in order to writing. For example, here is an example of PaperPal. So when you use an application, what it does, it uses it comes with the option of new web document, or also other option is you can also install a MS Word add-in is available. But free account has a limitation where you can creating a document. Just let me show you one example. how you can create a paper. So I need to log in order to either I can go with the Google, so or I can okay, Google is come. While I log through Google. Okay, see, you can see a new web document, import document, install Word. So now I'll say a new web document. Okay, so here, okay, you need to type or paste your text to receive language suggestion or type this thing to explore the AI features. Okay, it comes with the options: edit, rewrite, write, research or cite, translate, templates, checks, chat, PDF, upgrade. So there are some of the features are available for everyone, but some features are available only for the paid subscriptions. Let me take some text from the HRM policies in HI. That's what I'm trying to use it. So let me go there. Sorry. Okay, I'm here. So for example, say I'm using HRM policies in higher education institutions. Okay, I'm just typing it. So here I can ask the AI suggestions, or I can copy a paragraph and put it over here. So that help you to identify this thing. So now, for example, I'll say that write, if I use it here. So it automatically start writing. Okay, on this you want to draft an outline, you can do that, write a paragraph on. For example, if you add a topic, okay, and in topic. Institutions. Okay, it comes automatically, it generates the text for you, it gives a preview. If you accept it, then it will come. Okay, preview has come in. So you want it, you want to insert it, just click on insert. Okay, it will come over here. You want to rewrite this, what you have written. So it has just whatever topic I suggested it has written, but it would not be appropriate or it would not be correct. So we need to verify what it has written. What I suggest you that you can also use Prepol AI for a rewrite, translate or regenerate text. So you can use this option here. So it says a paraphrase, you want improve your fluency. You want to do that. Assume that you have already written paper is there. You want to improve the fluency or make academic. All those options are available. Using that, you can rewrite it or paraphrase. For example, if I click on a paraphrase, automatically it paraphrases it. Okay, then you want to replace the text. If you click it here, the text gets replaced. It gets replaced. It did not do anything because it's asking for a try it now. It is asking for a AI because you want to upgrade it. Then only it will try to provide you a improvised version. Now, if for example here the right option which you used it, research and cite, this option is available. Okay, here see for example you want to cite a text. So you can cite it. Say, for example, I want to select the text. Okay, I want to cite it. Just try to look for searching something, and you can give a citation for that. Even you can search the papers. For example, you can give a DOI and you can enter the keyword. It will search from its database. It has more than 250 million scholarly papers. From there, you can add a search for a paper and say, for example, HEI. I'm just entering something just to showcase Mumbai search results for. Okay, now I want to cite this one here. For example, I want to cite here. So now I'll say cite it. Okay, it is going to insert a citation as per APA. It is coming over here. Even you can insert the citation using this tool. Like for example, right now what we do, most of us, we use the reference management software like Jotera or Mendeley. From there, whenever we are writing a paper, we try to do that. But if you use tool like this, by searching if your article is available in the database, then you can directly bring in it over here. But only thing is, many of the free features are very limited. But if you take for the paid, then you'll be able to use it. For example, now you see here, I have already used certain points. So it is going, once it becomes black, everything, then I'll not be able to make use of its tools. So here again, for example, here the templates are also available. For example, you're writing a paper, you want outline. If you click here, research article or whatever you want outline. So you can give a description about your topic. Then it will help you to generate an outline for it. And also essay, thesis, chapter, all those things available. Checks, basically journal. It also has a plagiarism check, which is in association with Turnitin. A plagiarism check software, it has a plagiarism check, which you can do it. And journal submission check. For example, when you want to submit an article, a particular journal, where that each journal has its own criteria, author guidelines and all. What all things you need to be included. Even that facility, they have made it available. Even you want a review on your paper, AI review, what I suggested you to do it using ChatGPT. So where in that you can, AI review is also available. Even they have human expert service. For example, you want any, of course, I don't suggest you to. So here, what are the other features which are available? Is available. Chat PDF is also there. This is for paid version. So where you can interact with the PDF also. And these are the, of course, upgrade option. So here, these are the other kind of this. For example, now word choice, it is suggesting to certain suggestions that also you can edit it, accept it. So automatically the word gets changed. Even rephrase it, where form, all those things, features are there. I suggest you to explore it. So in order to make use of this tool, whether it's going to be useful for your writing of your paper, then you can then you see that you make your own judgment in order to using of this tool. And I told you about reviewing or feedback about particular what I have written it earlier. And now also many of us, what we do whenever we writing, we share with our colleagues or share with peers in our field and ask them to go through the paper or go through this thing, suggest many modifications are there. Okay. But in the world of GenAI, as I mentioned to earlier, I can take a feedback on what I have written using a GenAI tools. Of course, I have to apply my own critical thinking. I have to refer what it is giving is correct or not. So, but it is very it's good to make use of it, so that many times what happens when in the context of when we are writing, we may miss out certain areas. So using that, it will be very helpful. For example, I am preparing a PPT. So when I make a presentation, though after writing making outline and giving a topic, then also cross-verify ChatGPT kind of a tool. See that what all things can be included in my presentation. What are the slides need to, and what are the topics, subtopics I need to cover in my presentation. That helps basically. I have thought of something, then I have somebody, my AI intern, I'll ask it to know about what are the other gaps, what all I can include it. Many times what happens, it suggests a very good ideas based on its knowledge base. So then what you can take, if you think that is appropriate for your this thing, you can take it into a presentation. Same the case work with your paper. When you are writing paper, you ask for it, any gaps exist in your abstract or a particular concept you are trying to discuss, what are things I need to cover there. So you can chat it and see that what is it suggesting you. Then accordingly, you can, I don't suggest to take it as it is from the output. Try to read it and see that whether it makes any sense for what you are trying to write it, and take only the content which is useful for you. Don't write it as it is, how it is written. You try to rewrite it and put it in your paper. So that makes very good sense. And also nowadays, what is happening, many of the journals and the institutions are accepting, okay, use of AI for improving language or for generating certain kind of a thing. So, but only thing is you need to be very, very categorical in mentioning that I used AI tool for certain things. Then only what happens, it helps. Otherwise, if by using it, for example, if anybody using it for generating an entire paper will not be good, because what happens, neither it based on any facts or anything. It depends on the tool's knowledge base. It has generated something and given it for you. That is not a good sign of anything. It's completely against the research ethics what we apply it. Okay, and you can upload the draft and pasting the content also. You can verify the content. This may help in making revisions before submission. Okay, for example, before you showcasing to supervisor or showcasing to your collaborator, you can improve it by taking a feedback. For example, how we take a feedback so that so let's go back. Taking a feedback, for example, if I go to chat GPT, I've written something. Let me borrow what I've written here. So I'm just using the just the content. I don't advise you write whatever written content is there. I'm trying to take it here and asking a feedback. Can you please provide me a feedback on this abstract? Okay, I'm considering it as abstract. I am taking it. So I'm just putting it here, asking ChatGPT to give me feedback on this. Okay, so it will provide me a feedback. Okay, overall quality. It will tell you the quality of the abstract data is well written, coherent, and academically appropriate. Okay, strengths. Okay, areas for improvement. Okay, what are the areas where you need to improvement? Specificity, augment purpose link, redundancy, citation usage, all those things it is giving. It is also giving an optional this thing, how suggested refinement. It's also giving an upfront. So you read it. I am here. What I did, AI generated content only I given, but you should use your content, what you have written, and take a feedback like this that will help you to use it. But whenever you are trying to use any of the AI to see whether data controls are available. For example, whenever you go to settings, there is data control option is there. Always switch this off. Improve model for everyone. If it is on, is by default it is on. Make it switch it off so that whatever you do, it will not go to its training model, because many times the confidentiality will be there or sometimes personal information. But still, also, even though you switch it off, I don't suggest you to use any personal or sensitive information while working with any of the AI tools. So this way you can improve, take a feedback on what you are trying to write, so that help you to improve your content, what you are trying to use it. Okay. Then comes the research integrity, wherein that we are talking about whatever we are trying to write it, because it should be academic integrity needs to be maintained. Okay. So it is basically which allows you others to have a trust or confidence in what you are written. Okay. So that is very, very important in any kind of research, what you as all of you know about it. So similarity check is already, for example, whenever even now in the internet era, what do people do? They copy certain content from somebody else's work and try to put it, cut and pasting the content. Then there are tools like Turnitin where they check the similarity check or Dilbit kind of tools available. Using that, we find out the similarity. Okay, how much similarity is there? As per UGC rules, it is only up to certain percent only it is allowed. 10%, less than 10% should be whatever your similarity of the content on any of the paper or thesis. So beyond that, if it is there, then they'll ask you to revise, or maybe sometime they may ask you to redo the entire thing. Okay, or sometime we may have a stricter punishment also. But in the world of Gen AI, for example, you copy certain AI content and how it needs to be checked. See, now what is happening here also, it is becoming important because most of the AI tools like Gemini and all, they are trying to provide for example, Google, it uses a technique called synth ID. Synth ID, what it does, any content you generate through Gemini goes with a kind of a software inbuilt water kind marking within the content what is generated, and that helps Turnitin kind of a tool to identify what is being generated by AI. But of course, it is very complex. Still, most of these software similarity checking tools are not that capable of checking the 100% of the AI content. So, but however, having said that, but they are improving it, because now even the tech companies like Google and even OpenAI also might come out with a kind of a tool which they may share with these kind of companies that helps in detecting the AI generated content, so that we can avoid synthetic information being available for everyone. What happens if everyone start using AI to generate the content, and tomorrow you want to do a research, only synthetic information will be available for all of us. So here, for example, how papers, most of the papers, use of state of AI use in papers. This is one of the study which published in Nature. It talks about the use of this thing, the paper publication, academic paper publication increased after the chat GPT, this thing. And where in that most of the AI in academic papers has a very stylistic words. When you use AI, it generates stylistic words like that, such as delves into, rose unusually high after large language models became widely available. That's what the study is in order to identify research integrity and how, if you use AI, what kind of words are it generates. According to analysis by 14 million PubMed, means medical science abstract, they come out with this thing wherein saying that higher the use of stylistic words. The red one is basically stylistic words, and the content related words are very minimal. For example, earlier to the 21, the normal words used in the papers were very high, but whereas now stylistic words has increased. There are studies undertaken what kind of words AI tools use frequently. That's why whenever you are trying to use a tool, ask it to use a style of your own, because I have my own writing style, you have your own writing style. Ask it to use your own style by giving a paragraph. Ask it to work on it, so you can go on working on the same this thing. It will use it, but unless you start a new chapter, okay, then what happens, your kind of the way of writing it follows, because they have a memory, they remember it, and then you can go on using your own style in order to write a papers. So what are the different Gen AI tools which are available in order to check the integrity? One is CopyLeaks, GPT-0, Quillbot, Turnitin, Zero GPT. There are different tools which are openly available. Some are freely available, up to or some free limited kind of a content is available, which you can use in order to test whether what I have written is AI written or non-AI written. Here, one of the example which I have taken from Quillbot AI detector. I generated a content from ChatGPT and pasted here. But still here, see, even though I generated everything from ChatGPT, some of it is telling me only 75% is AI written, whereas human written is another 25%. That is totally wrong. Even we have earlier cases I have explored that, wherein that we wrote a paper, myself and my colleague, before we giving it for publication, we checked on Turnitin, it told that 25% is AI generated. We never used AI for anything. We completely written paper on ourselves. That happened. One more example, when one of my friend, he generated a kind of a text from ChatGPT. Turnitin showed that it's 100% human written. Okay, so there's the vice versa things are there. Still, it is evolving concept, because it is difficult for even the AI similarity check tools to detect the content 100%. But slowly they are improving, as I earlier said. So using that, you will be able to make a content detection, AI content detection, any of the submissions made by your students, or any of the things which have come for your evaluation, or yourself when you want to write something, you can yourself check it before you putting it into your paper or a thesis, what you are trying to work on. So now coming to the what are the precautions and this thing you need to be as a researcher need to be aware of it, and how we need to apply in order to avoid these kind of things is, one is the AI tools are not one solution which fits for all the works, that you need to remember it. And often most of the large language models like ChatGPT, they're often biased. As I told you, most of them originate from different countries, and they may not have a content what you are trying to use. They hallucinate, means they tell lies, they cook the information. Okay, and fact check the output generated by any AI tool using a traditional search methods or verify. No personal information or confidential information need not be shared, because privacy is at stake, and it may have legal and ethical implications, because for a lot of copyright infringement they do it, because they are taking content without the publisher consent. Of course, some of them now, they are publishers themselves are trying to give their content in order to earn the additional revenue. That is a different story, but most of it what they do don't this time. And do not resort to copy and paste from the AI output or accept it in its face value. Don't take it up when you generate something. Read it, understand it, what it is saying, whether is it in line with the published literature. Then you think of taking anything, you can do that. It may preserve your data in its model, so be wary of it. However, it can be restricted with certain tools. Its effective is possible only if you understand the outputs. For example, I want an output in a particular language, because they also provide a output in the different languages. For example, if I don't have a knowledge of Marathi, even though if I take an output in Marathi, then I'll not be able to read it. I'll not be able to understand it, what it has given. So that you need to be aware of it. If you are trying to do a coding, as I mentioned earlier, you need to understand the code, what output it has given. And models and tools are changing very fast. What I have done, what I showcased now may not work. For example, some of the tools even surprised me today because some of thing I did some time back and now they are trying to give a different result for me. So that things keep changing. So we need to be wary of it and we need to be careful because things change very fast. And apply your critical thinking before using any AI tool. I mentioned to you earlier also. And adhere to the framed institute or university guidelines regarding usage of AI in work. Because even when Madam was here, we were talking about how you can frame the guidelines for your institution. So because that will help you to your users, your faculty members and research students and the students. So what purpose we can use AI, to what extent we can use it, so that it has become a very clear-cut guidelines. And the last point we want to make is that make the AI research assistant work for you as per your instructions, not as per its instructions. So that always you keep in mind and work accordingly. With this, I end my presentation, but I'll be very happy to take the questions, what you have. So then I'll try to answer those questions. Thank you. Any questions?
Most of the session was actually very helpful and interactive. You showed us hands-on experiences. So I think there won't be any questions. At least I don't have any questions. And you actually showed you utilizing all the platforms which you demonstrated by giving examples.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. It'll be difficult to cover give more examples within the session of liberation. So if hands-on is there, then in physical class it will be good. So that we can concentrate more on that.
Right.
Yeah, if you don't have any questions, then I'll end my session. So, Dharti? Okay. Shall I take a leave then?
Just a second, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Kashi.
Yeah, Kashi.
Anybody have question? Please feel free to ask. Meanwhile, I'm presenting the vote of thanks to sir for their time. Please fill out the feedback form. I'm still requesting anyone to have any question. Please feel free to ask. It's the information provided by sir is quite heavy, so you need to a day to digest and practice all the things. In meanwhile, anybody have question? All right. So, on behalf of HSNC board and research development cell of HSNC board, I am presenting the formal vote of thanks to our president sirs who is providing a opportunity to conduct these sessions. Principal ma'am, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, for giving an opportunity to organize these sessions regularly basis to so we can keep in touch with changing dynamics of research, changing dynamics of research and innovative practices and what do and don'ts in the research area. Well, special thanks to Vice Principal Rani ma'am for joining the sessions and providing her presence in the informative area. Last but not the least, a special and very thankful thanks. I don't have a right adjective to give my thanks to Pujar sir for taking his time for his busy schedules. Last but not the least, and the final vote of thanks to my participants who have taken their time to join these sessions. Thank you so much. and have a nice day. If anybody have question, you can ask me. Otherwise, we will happy to end the meeting. Puja
I'll
ma'am, you
just
want to
have a
say anything?
question. Yeah, I'll have
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question. Firstly, so a very wonderful session, and I think I really vouch what I saw in IGIDR as a FDP. I just quickly told you. I think you had carried your presentation in such a simple way that you have not left any scope for doubts. But I just want to have a question, which is a kind of thing like if AI is now started doing giving me an outline of papers, thesis, hypothesis, testing, what is the future of research? If AI is doing everything, where is research going to go? Because everything is now computer driven. So, I mean, little worried about seriously research will happen in the near future or just put up a topic and AI will give you everything. So my question is like, what's the future?
Yeah. Madam, see, everything coexists. For example, when we initially we had only print and then we started moving to digital content, then internet came in. At that time, people said, okay, everybody is going to copy paste now from all the papers which are available. That we are still living, we are teaching, still you all are teaching, and still we are working in the libraries. Still we have print, still we have electronic, still we get nowadays online access to most of the content what we have. So it is the technology is going to infuse into everything, madam. So that is going to happen everywhere. But ultimately, what truth is that ultimately human intervention is needed for everything. Okay, whether it is, I can say that that's the reason I harp more on the critical thinking and evaluation of what it is giving. Because it cannot understand whatever its knowledge base is there, it try to pull the information from there and try to give it to you that. But ultimately, that may not be very specific to a particular region. For example, if your study is very rural specific in any interior parts of Maharashtra, that it may not provide you because many of the literature may not be existed on. In that case, what it uses, it is going to give based on what it is trying to find out. So, but ultimately, you as a researcher, you are the at the helm of affairs. Ultimately, your student may come tomorrow, you may get 99% of your students coming with the outline generated by AI only. But you as a teacher, you have to advise. That's the reason, as I mentioned during my presentation on IGIDR also, you as a leader, you need to inculcate that kind of habits at very young age. For example, you have postgraduate students or undergraduates. At that time, you should, okay, this tool exists, fine, no problem. We are allowing up to the whatever extent it is. Then what for, how for, why you should use it, where you should not use it, why we are suggesting you should not use it. Also, if you make it clear, definitely there is a kind of a literacy once it develops, madam, then it becomes very easy and it will carry forward for the generation to come in the future. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Also, sir, there are requests coming on our WhatsApp groups also that will you be able to share with us the helps and you have done it in such a simpler manner. Would also request if you can share about IGIDR library because when we visited there, we were told by the people there that it is free and anybody can access it for the research. So I leave it that part to you if you can share because all are researchers here. This is an R&D cell, either heads or members present here. So there are research students who always ask which libraries to go. So if you can help us with IGID and library processes or protocols, if you can help us.
Yeah. The idea is that we have a collection mostly in economics. Okay, economics from an interdisciplinary perspective. We don't have a commerce collection or somebody management. All those subjects we don't have. So if anybody, any economics students or any commerce researcher who are doing some kind of studies wherein that there is both economics also mixed into that, those kind of things definitely they are most welcome to visit our library with an introduction letter from either from principal or from librarian along with the photo ID, whatever the college photo ID, they are most welcome. Our catalog is available online. They can check it before coming here so that what happens, they need not have to be, because you coming from such a long distance and then after coming here, you realize that nothing is available. Okay, recently one of your professor wrote to me, like one Mr. Dr. Kulkarni, somebody. He wrote to me saying that I want to come and use your library. Then I told him to check our catalog and all, but catalog he said, sir, nothing is available. He's a commerce faculty, it seems. And then I told, but he is interested in accessing the ONOS, One Nation, One Subscription. We have 13,000 journals access like any other government funded university. So wherein that they can come and access the paper they want to download, they can download and take them. We don't have any issue. But only thing is they should come on a working days, Monday to Friday, between during office hours, like say 10 to 5. They can come and we'll provide the access from designated terminals. They can sit and access the resources what we have, and they can make use of it. Absolutely, there is nothing. We are open for that. We don't charge anything for any researcher, but only we don't allow PG students or undergraduate students. If any students are coming, then we request you to accompanied by a teacher, so that it helps them to guide them and in making use of resources. Yeah, that's about IGIDR library, but more information you can find out on our website, and also on library catalog is available. It is just I'll share with this thing, so that you can check it. Yeah.
So I think before Kashi takes over, my sincere thanks on behalf of HSNC board, HR college, and all the research and development cell heads. And this is a new kind of initiative of our board where we are looking at a good research based topics. So would request Pooja sir also, if you have other connects which are good into research, if you can connect us to them, it will be helpful to us, because we are looking at we had done a session on grant writing, then how to write for scopus, and today like AI and research. There are many other areas that we have not yet explored. So would love to have you, and also we would love to have an offline session with you to see live these presentation and try it on the computer lab. I'm sure that T and Kashi would again coordinate with you. But thank you so much, sir, for giving us this 1.5 hours. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, madam, for giving
I'm
opportunity
sure.
to share.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Kashi, over to you.
Thank you everyone for joining today. I request everyone join on the time, so our resource person we can utilize the resource person time and very effective way.
Can we have one picture with everybody on camera, so that we keep a memory with us?
Yes,
So if you all can switch on for 1 minute, we can have a picture that he's there. So for 1 minute, if we can switch on our cameras, so that we can have a picture.
Yeah.
Yes, please switch on, everybody, so that we can take a beautiful picture of our smiling faces.
No.
I'm done, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you, Pooja sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yes. Thank you,
everyone. We'll share the recording of the session in the group itself, so you can utilize those sessions in the leisure time. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Goodbye.